guys, Dave here, JDH Reptiles. It's Sunday, about 20 to 10 in the morning. Today we have an ARS build. I've already done the building of the levels, but today we're going to do the assembly, and depending on how long that takes, we'll either split this into two parts or we'll do all this in one part. But I won't be actually finishing this build today per se. Waiting on a Herpstat 2 to show up, and also waiting for some surge protectors. So those will both be here most likely on Tuesday, so 2 days from now. So depending how far we get on this build today in this video, either this video will end and I'll post this, then we'll do a part 2 when I complete it, or I'll just wrap it all together and we'll post this later next week. Regardless, let's go ahead and get to it. I do want to start off by showing you the disaster that's outside of this room, and what we're going to be working with. So, alright, let's go out here. Now, I wasn't lying when I said disaster. So there's the levels. I actually have 2 levels of 50/40 also. Those will be, probably won't do a video on those, but this is the ARS 1039. So it's 3 wide, 13 tall. So we're going to assemble this together. Hey guys, so I pondered doing a video showing you how to build these racks, but really they're just time consuming. They're not hard. It really is just 4 bars, and then you put on the little plastic end caps, and then from there you just put the rails on and they screw together. So if you have a screw gun or an impact driver like I use, they come with everything. It's just tedious. It's not hard. It literally takes about 10 minutes a level to do them. At least that's what it takes me. So I spent about 2 hours putting all 13 levels together. But once that was done, it was getting late last night, I just stopped. Here we are today. We're actually going to assemble each level. The one thing we do need to do as we pull these in is we're going to need to put down the Velcro strips. This is actually what holds the heat panels in place. So what I'll start doing is bringing a level in. We'll set the level down on my cart. I'll install these, and then we'll click them into place. Really, it's not tough. In between each level, we'll put a heat panel in there, and then when it's all said and done, we'll slide in our tubs, and maybe we'll drop in our liners. But again, until I get my thermostat, we can't finish it. I thought I had a spare Herpstat 2 here. I usually try and keep a spare on hand. I know they've been out for quite a while, so I just ordered one, and we'll have to wait till that comes in before I can move animals over. But we'll do a video on that too, because that'll be a cool video. You get to see each and individual animal that we're moving out of the sea serpent rack into the new rack to make room for hatchlings for this season. So let's go ahead without any further ado. Let's jump into this video and let's have some fun. Alright guys, so this is basically the level once it's assembled. This is where the tubs will slide in right here. So they slide in here. The smooth sided bottom. This is the ventilation channels, and it's like a puzzle piece. They literally just sit on top of each other on all these little nubs right here. Back that up. Okay, there we go. So these little nubs, each level just sits on top of each other. Really, they're simple. Alright guys, so what I was talking about when it comes to these Velcro and the heat panels is pretty simple. The heat panel sits above a level, and what it does, it doesn't reflect down. The heat reflects up. So we have Velcro on the very bottom, the little wheelbase, which this will sit on top of. So there will be a heat panel underneath this, which will heat the bottom of the back of the tubs. We'll put these Velcro strips on here. You'll put your next heat panel on, and that'll heat the tubs underneath, so the next level up. So that's how it works. It's pretty simple. We're going to take these Velcro strips about 1 inch down from back here, and you kind of just center it. There's one. And you do the same over here. And that's it. Simple, easy. And now these are ready to be installed. So now for this rack, this is the heat panel we're using. I use the E upgrade, which is an insulated bottom. This is what stops the heat from reflecting down onto the top of the tubs. I highly recommend going with this. Definitely, in my opinion, it's the way to go for sure. Now when you set up your rack, here's what you need to keep in mind. And that is, where do you want your power surge protector to hang? Because wherever the cords come out, that's the side that they need to plug into. And depending where you're going to mount or where you're going to roll your rack to, if you have the surge protector on the wrong side, it might get in the way. Alright, so for instance, I'm showing you this. Yes, it is a clusterfuck, I know. But here's two racks. Each rack, you have a surge protector for the bottom half, and I have a surge protector for the top half. I usually split my racks 50-50. So one probe works, like in this rack, one probe is going to work the bottom 3, the next probe will work the top 5. And the reason I did that is because this is a split rack. So these panels, the 70 series panels, are different than the 55 series. So I have one probe that works these 3 levels and one probe that works these 5 levels. Now on this rack, because they're all the same, as you can see, I still split them, and the reason why is because down here, the cold air, the bottom tubs usually are cooler than the upper tubs. So I split them with, again, the bottom 3 and the top 5 levels. So one probe per channel, and what I do is that probe goes into your herpstat. So I run a herpstat 6 on this one, herpstat 2 here. Everything will eventually be on a herpstat 2 here. So the probe goes to the herpstat, and what it does is it'll read, like on this one, it'll read the middle shelf. All 3 of these, though, will plug into that surge protector. That surge protector will run into one channel on that herpstat. Okay, so that's the way it works. So, as you can see, because of the way I have this set up, I want nothing against the wall. So I don't have any room over here for my surge protectors to be. So on this rack, I have the surge protectors mounted on this side. Same thing goes here. I want all the wires to be centralized on these corners. So I have the surge protectors mounted on this side on this rack. So I believe this is where I'm going to set this rack at. Which means I do not want the cords to be hitting this door jamb. So I'm going to mount my cords onto the left side of this rack, and I'll have my surge protectors hanging on the rack. So what that means, guys, is since this is the front, I want to make sure all my heat panels go this way. So you just snap those down with the Velcro, and my cords will come out this way, and they'll reach the power protector. I'll back this up a little bit. I want you guys to be able to see everything I'm doing. Alright, so again, since I'm going to set this over here, I want all the cords this way, so my cords will come out this side, and they'll go up against the surge protector, which will be mounted on the left side of the rack. So I also need to go toss a heat panel down on the bottom level. Like so. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to stack these by taking this level I already have the feet on here, so you just set them on top of the other level, and they literally just snap in place. And that's it. Now we'll go up and up and up. And when I'm all done, I'll slide in the tubs, and this rack will be completed once I get the surge protector get it mounted, get it run to the herp stat. Alright guys, so we're going to start with 4 panels. That's what I brought in. And just like the last one, I'm just going to grab some Velcro. The one thing I noticed I did do wrong was there's these insulators that are supposed to go on first. These insulators help to raise the heat panel off of the rack a bit. So I'm going to have to go back on that other one and put insulators on it. So, and that's it, easy peasy. So the heat panel on these is kind of like recessed a bit, and that's so it sits down on top of here. But as you notice, it also hits these channels here. Let me grab the camera. These channels here, it's hitting that. So the insulator goes on, then the Velcro, and what that does is it lifts it up a little bit. That way it doesn't lay on top of this anymore. So it brings the heat off of here, and it doesn't allow the panels to sit on this plastic channel here. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I'll show you what we got here. So there's the rack in all its glory. Tubs are not installed. I do have all 13 levels on. I've got the heat panels on. A little higher than the rest of the racks in the snake room here. Originally I thought about getting an additional set of wheels and kind of splitting this and eventually buying a couple levels. I like to keep everything OCD, kind of like keep everything flush the best I can. But these aren't too high. You know, I can definitely access them. I'll just have to pull the tubs out completely when I want to, you know, interact with the animal, make sure I service the cage, etc. You know, if they were like this high, I could probably just peek in and check. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do in the future. I think what we might do is buy another set of wheels and 10 levels, and then I'll take 9 levels, and I'll take these upper 2 off and put them on top of the other 9, kind of equal it out. I don't know, we'll figure that out down the road. But I also am not sure if this is going to stay here. I might actually turn this and put it on that wall over there, which means the Vornado will have to come over here, and that also means I'll have to flip all my heat panels around because I don't know if I like it sitting right here. It just seems, I don't know, I think it would work better servicing the cage like this instead of servicing the cage this way. I'm not sure guys, it'll take a little bit of playing around here. I can tell you though, with this here, 3 more levels of 50 going over there, we're kind of getting to capacity of what we can do in this room. So that's going to lead into some future, whether it be expanding, or we've been thinking about probably purchasing a new house. So maybe that'll go into that. You know, I don't know, a lot to do. I really don't like the idea of moving. Don't really want to move all this stuff, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But that's it guys for right now. We'll come back, we'll do another video once I get this in the place where I want it. Once I get the herp stat here, we'll put in all the tubs, new liners, we'll hook up the herp stat, and then we'll move some animals over. It'll be a really fun video, but I appreciate if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Like I said, these are really simple to build. They're just time consuming because it's a bunch of little screws here and there. But each level took me roughly 8 to 10 minutes. So, you know, 13 levels. I had about 2 hours into building this rack. And then stacking it took me about 10 minutes. That's putting in the insulators and the Velcro, and then putting the heat tape on, or the heat panels on, and just stacking it. It was real simple, real easy, and it's not that much of a bear. If you like Legos, kind of a cool set. If you don't have time for that, spend the extra money, go Freedom Breeder. But for me, these are great. I love the way they work. I love the setup, and they're not that big of a deal for me to put together. So take care, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Check our links down below to our pages, our Instagram. There's a discount down there for you guys. And at any time, please leave comments. I love to interact with all you guys. We'll talk to you next time.